just picked up some lunch in Ohio and a 97 Supra Targa 5-speed in a car. Needs a little love, but we'll get it fixed up maybe. Yeah, they gave us food too because they own a restaurant. How cool is that? The guy was cool. He had a bunch of other Supras.
About $20,000 worth of sandwiches.
Yep. We just bought 20 grand worth of sandwiches and they came with a Supra. Heck of a deal. I told my mom that and she laughed. Oh yeah, we left at 2 in the morning. Jay got up at 12:45. But he's good.
Made my flight?
He made his flight, got a 30-minute lunch in. Or nap. I don't know, we're tired as always. So what do you think, Jay?
Things sicker than COVID.
Two hours. Finally got some sleep. So dude man mounted and balanced our tire on the side of the road. His name was Jimmy, right? Jimmy, if you ever see this video, thank you sir for fixing the trailer. Went to Tractor Supply and bought a wheel and tire already mounted in case we have another blowout on the way home. Because I think we're still like 5 hours away, 4.5. Still gotta get through Nashville. We're about to pass the Corvette Museum. Unfortunately, we don't have time to stop, and I don't even think they're open. Pretty cool. It's that late 90s, early 2000s style. Thankfully, he sold me the TRD hood. I want to keep a lot of the dash, but a lot of these dash parts, like the AC controls, are worth a lot of money. That's going to help reimburse me for what I spent on this car. And all the carpets, the trunk carpet's in amazing shape. The rear panels, the Targa holders, the headliners. It's gonna be kind of like how the Bluesy was. It'll be like a dash, door panel, center console, and everything else is gonna be cleaned and painted with the roll cage. So it'll be it'll still have street car feels to it. It's still gonna be street legal. Everyone loves old Toyotas. I'm finished going through some stuff, get it unloaded, throw my aero on and my works on ASAP. I don't have the rear bumper on yet, still in the other car. Chew. I'm cool with it. I like it. I think it's dope. I got the vision now, so I'm cool. Once I get some coilovers under it and it gets painted, whew, yeah. Got some body work to do to fit up these skirts and front bumper. Yeah, I'm gonna throw the rear bumper on. It'll look like that, so it's cool. Just need to get these mirrors on now. See how it looks. See, this bumper does not fit great. Of course. I'll take care of it. I got all the dash out and all the pieces. I found a bunch of surprises over here. That it was hit over here. I knew that on the pillar. I could see the prior repair. But this is supposed to be straight. I'm gonna get with my buddy John tomorrow at work. He's really good with the frame machine. I don't know if this thing's ever gonna come out straight. These Target cars, man, they're just not that strong. It's not looking good, guys. The Target wasn't closing all the way too, so that's probably, this is probably still shoved in or something. Sucks. I'm not gonna call it a loss yet, but just mentally preparing just in case. It's a bummer. It's not good. So when you have older cars like these, I mean, this thing's a 97. It's pretty old. It's 2020 now. It's just very tiring. But this is pretty cool. If you're a Supra guy, you'll appreciate all this. Half these parts are discontinued. The dude like spray painted some of this stuff. Someone did. Looks like probably 6-7 years ago, if I had to guess. A lot of stuff's in pretty good shape. Some of it's got broken tabs, but some of it's all good. So it's very cool seeing all this laid out. Got the whole complete dash harness. And this is kind of the big money stuff right here. Just to the right person, there's a lot of people wanting this. And do these little vents are discontinued. Just so much of this. Everybody is always looking for that piece. I don't need any of this stuff because I just need a dash and door panels and a center console. So maybe I'll get to use my stuff soon. The seats are clean. I mean, you just can't beat that look. Now the car is a Southern car. I got it out of Ohio. He got it from Georgia. Haven't really traced much, but it is a clean title, even though it shouldn't be. And once you see the Carfax or auto check, you'll see that it was in a wreck. So there's two bad things about the car. One is the firewall. I'm not sure how well you can see it, but this is where it was wrecked. It was on this right pillar. You can clearly see where it was coated and all this junk going on in here, which really isn't a big deal, but it's way worse than here. You can see where the inner part of the firewall was cut out, repaired, and welded back in, and some nice seam sealer from 1998. But the amazing part is all these welds were not coated it's just bare metal, and they're not rusting. So it's kind of nice having to know that this thing's not a rust bucket, because rust is not fun to fix. The roll cage is going to replace the dash bar. The theory behind that is for what a dash bar cost in one of these, which was, I believe I sold it for $500. That's about what the roll cage material cost. So basically got rid of a dash bar, and that's going to pay for the material for the roll cage, which I'm not sure if I'm doing the cage yet or if I'm going to get someone else to do. The other bad part of this car is the roof panel. It looks like a tree or something fell on it, who knows. But they used a lot of filler. So all that's going to be dug out, and the metal is actually going to be straightened. And then it'll get some filler on it. I would just replace the roof panel, but they're discontinued now, which is a bummer, but oh well. Everything else is pretty straight on the car. The quarters are pretty nice, straight. The trunk floor is straight. It's clean. I just have to get some sound deadening out. This quarter's okay. Looks like it's had some work done. Everything's clean, which is great. So once this firewall's fixed and squared away, it'll be able to get the roll cage. The whole inside will be cleaned out. I'm really not worried about the firewall, because worst case it needs to be replaced. And that's what I have this SC300 for. It's a parts car. And the lower firewall is interchangeable with an SC300. I was told that, did some research. I saw some guys who left-hand drive swapped their Supras with the lower firewall. I have an SC300 diff out of that SC300, which I believe is like a 411 gear or something like that. So that's going to get welded and solid bushings and put in the car, and I'll have a couple spare axles. I'm not sure how strong these axles are, but I think they're halfway decent. We got the Supra up on the frame machine, leveled out. Thank you, Blake, for helping me out. That's John, he's the man.
Hit him with that while you got it.
John's the straightening man. Got it all anchored down. It's pulling the windshield down and over because it was bent.
Is this content?
Yep.
You're talking about a shit shoe?
What?
Hey man.
Is that for your podcast?
Yep.
You're in the middle of nowhere.
So I got the Supra home after all the frame work on the frame machine and getting pulled and straightened, and it's good. The frame actually wasn't bent at all, it was just all the metal in between it. So John is a lifesaver. He got it all straightened out. I'm super happy and thankful that everything's where it's supposed to be. I just have to do some final cleaning up on it and make it all look pretty. I was kind of living with the fact that it was just not going to be perfect. It's going to be bent. Everything measures out where it's supposed to be. So super happy with it. So I want to show you what all was done. Still have to unload everything, but so basically the windshield pillar was bent over that way and up, so it was pulled down as you saw in that video, and he got the Targa fitting way better. It was kicked up super high before. Also, the transmission tunnel is now straight where it's supposed to be. You saw it was pulled over. There's a lot more to it than just that clip I had, but it's actually where it's supposed to be. And I went through and dug out all the seam sealer and got the windshield out and got all the old urethane out, and it was just really a rush job of how they did it. Like, they didn't even hammer the metal back down where it's supposed to be, but I took all the seam sealer out so everything could be hammered back where it needs to be. And it's just a matter of making it look pretty now. All that's been dug out, hammered around on. So again, just gotta put the final touch on it. Feel way better after all that. I finally have a nice straight Supra with a title. So I'm very happy. Now at this point, can swap everything over from the SC, make sure everything fits, that we don't have to do any beating or fab work on the transmission tunnel before all of that's finalized, and the cage and all that fun stuff. As you saw in my last video, almost have this car ready to go. I'm gonna hit one event in it. Wheels are a little saucy. There'd be a lot of rubbing with them. It's already rubbing just sitting here, but I'll figure something out. Got some Project U pads for the rear because it has a factory handbrake. I'm hoping it can just be good enough for the vent to lock them up. Of course, I'll swap those pads over to the Supra. One more thing I want to show you. The roof panel. I dug it out and I figured out what happened to it. You know how people talk about hoods falling up? Yep. You can see where 2 hood pin marks hit it. So the hood must have fallen up at some point in time and destroyed the roof panel. We're actually going to raise all the metal back up, slowly pull it up, hammer and dolly it out, get the metal where it's supposed to be, and wipe it. Of course, you just had a little rain shower come through and soak it, so I'm going to have to go readdress all the bare metal. Been a very long, rough journey. I'm hanging on to it for a while after all of that work. It's going to be a while before I can do something like that again, so thanks for tuning in and watching this whole process unfold through the highs and the lows, and we're back on the highs again. I just didn't stop and just kept pushing, and thankfully I'm surrounded with very talented guys who know how to work on cars way more than I do. So I'm constantly learning so many new tricks from them every day. Hit that subscribe button so you can continue watching this madness unfold. Got some more shop talks lined up. Be getting those out soon, hopefully. And next video should be the SC driving around. So I'll see you then.